Artemis 1. NASA cancels new launch attempt for next week. NASA wants to return to the moon with the Artemis program. A test rocket should have taken off long ago after another failure. It has to go into the hangar. Long faces and few explanations. After another failed launch of the unmanned lunar mission Artemis 1, the U.S. space agency NASA is feverishly searching for the reasons. At a press conference late Saturday evening German time, NASA Chief Bill Nelson with mission manager Mike Sarafin and NASA manager Jim Free tried to be optimistic. But they all could confirm only a few certain details and plans. What is certain, however, is that there will be no new launch attempt next week. Back in the hangar. The team is currently investigating exactly why the problems occurred and what repairs are needed. Free explained. It is not yet possible to say whether another launch attempt will be made as early as next week, September 19 to October 4, or in the next but one possible planning window, October 17 to October 31, he said. Also, as it stands now, it looks like the rocket will have to return to the hangar with the Orion capsule on top. No clearance has been given yet for it to remain at the launch pad, Free said. The team plans to continue deliberations Monday and Tuesday, and then release updated details and plans. Saturday's launch had been canceled because of a leaking fuel hose. Several attempts to solve that problem during refueling with liquid hydrogen had failed. Then, about 3 hours before the start of a possible launch window, it was canceled. At that point, the hydrogen tanks were 11% full, the report continued. It was already the second failed attempt within a week. During the first failed attempt last Monday, there had been several problems, including a fuel leak already. In addition, one engine had failed to cool down to the required temperature. Sarafin admitted that the new leak that occurred on Saturday had been significantly larger. Maximum hydrogen concentrations in the surrounding air had been exceeded by a factor of 2 to 3, he said. Sarafin and Free could not yet foresee whether more extensive dress rehearsals of the entire launch process might be needed again after the repairs that now follow. We didn't have the launch we wanted today, but I can tell them that these teams know exactly what they were doing and I'm very proud of them, NASA Chief Nelson said at the news conference. His own space shuttle mission had been postponed 4 times, he had recalled on NASA's web television shortly after the launch failure. Then the 5th attempt was a nearly flawless 6-day mission. Far goal Mars, however, already the moon moves into far distance. Even earlier Artemis tests had already encountered problems that eventually resulted in a first significant postponement. With the program named after the Greek goddess of the moon, U.S. astronauts were actually supposed to land on the moon again by 2024, including for the first time a woman and a non-white person. Because of the many technical problems, such a manned Artemis mission is now planned for 2025 at the earliest. Nelson confirmed on Saturday that this timetable is being adhered to. NASA's long-term goal is for Artemis to even lay important foundations for the first Mars missions. ESA astronaut Alexander Gerst wrote on Twitter on Saturday that problems during test launches of complex systems are not surprising. After the launch attempt is before the launch attempt, he added. ESA astronaut Luca Parmitano similarly chimed in. 11 space shuttles had to be rolled back to the workshops for repairs after canceled launches. He wrote, when Artemis 1 lifts off, no one will remember the delays, but if something had gone wrong today, we would have remembered for a long time.